In this quick training, we're going to take a look at the checklist items inside of SmartSuite. So if that's of interest, stick around and let's get into it. Checklist items are a really cool feature inside of SmartSuite. Let's explore them together by jumping on into my test example here. I'm going to add a new field, and as you might have guessed, I will start by writing the word check and bring up my project essentials checklist. Now, if I make this selection, this is the field type that I want to contain here. I can rename the field, of course, choose a color, and also look at the display format. At present, I have the only option of either completing an item, which checks off the box and strikes it through, or an open item that remains unchecked and with visible text. Let's go ahead and change the color. Also note, inside of checklists, I have the following options. Users can create new entries, yes or no. In this case, defaulted to check yes. Make sure that's what you want. Can users modify and delete the default entries? We'll get to defaults in just a second, but if you want your users to be able to modify or delete those defaults, make sure you've checked this box, and also determine if you want to require an entry in the field. Now let's move on to defaults for this checklist. I can establish a list of defaults that are going to appear. Let's suppose every time I create a record inside of my Test2 app, I want that record to have 3 different things in the checklist. So I'll have task 1, let's hit enter, task 2, enter or add a new value, and then task 3. Now I can add this field. Whenever I create this particular record, a new record will automatically default to having 3 items in that checklist. So I can expand that checklist by clicking here, and I see the 3 different things that were automatically created. As this checklist is completed, users can come in and check the box, and you'll notice that as I've done so, I'm getting a progress bar that shows how much of my checklist is complete. I'll go ahead and save this up, and there we are. So checklists can be a very effective way for you to stay on track and make sure templatized things get done inside of your organization. One other thing that I want to point out about checklists, if I click back into the checklist here, I can assign these tasks to people as well, and I can also assign a due date for those things as well. So the important thing to note here is that by assigning someone to a checklist item, this item will be added to their My Work section. So if you have any questions about My Work and about how that all interacts with the other portions of SmartSuite, be sure to check out the My Work training videos as well. But in this case, if I wanted to assign this remaining task to myself, I could do so here. And I could also optionally put a due date on here and save. And now that particular task is going to show up in my personal My Work section so that I know that I've got to get that done. Once I get it done, I can come in, check the list off, save that up, and we're good to move forward. I now have 100% completion for this checklist field. If you have any questions about what we covered in this training, please ask them below in the comments section of this video. And until then, we'll see you in the next training.